Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud said Saturday that his country is advancing on counterterrorism, highlighting Turkey's support. Turkey and Somalia are real partners based on mutual interests, Mohamud said at the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, stating that Somalia has been through difficult times, but the situation has shifted from one of collapse to a state of fragility. He noted that state institutions have not yet fully matured, but significant progress has been made in recent years. Mohamud said Somalia is striving to reach the position it deserves in the international arena and is actively combating terror organizations such as Al-Shabaab and ISIS, Daesh. He noted numerous international organizations, including the UN and the African Union, as well as countries like the US, Turkey, and the UK, along with neighboring states, are supporting Somalia. Mohamud emphasized despite external support, the fight against terrorism is being led by Somalia, and announced that for the first time since 1969, elections will be held. He highlighted that Somalia holds a seat on the UN Security Council representing East Africa and is also a member of the Arab League, affirming his belief that the country will attain the position it rightfully deserves. Mohamud pointed out that although terror organizations pursue global agendas, they have caused problems in Somalia due to past circumstances. He underlined that those groups have revealed their true nature, and Somalis increasingly recognize that the actions of those organizations do not align with the values or reality of Somalia. There is no place for terrorism, said Mohamud. He stated the country's desire to be a voice for other nations facing challenges similar to Somalia. He pointed out the global shift from a world of ideology and principles to one driven by interests, noting that underdeveloped countries often struggle to market their interests effectively. Mohamud underlined that Somalia has been actively communicating its national interests to global and regional powers, as well as neighboring countries, framing those interests in a way that benefits both sides in negotiations. He underlined that Somalia possesses valuable resources and a strategic location, but due to the weakness of state institutions, other actors often focus not on what they can contribute to Somalia, but on what they can extract. Highlighting the need for lasting reforms, Mohamud added that as part of the African Union, Somalia is advancing toward the Vision 2063 agenda and working toward transforming Africa into a continental free trade area. Ties between Somalia, Ethiopia. Mohamud noted that Somalia and Ethiopia, as neighboring countries, share a long and often violent history, which has contributed to the weakening of both over time. He said because of tensions, there has been a heavy focus on military and defense matters, which in turn has led to coups and revolutions. Mohamud described the Ankara Declaration signed between Somalia and Ethiopia as a valuable opportunity to shape a better future for both nations. He added that the two sides have engaged in mutual visits and an exchange of views. Pointing out that another meeting involving both countries will be held in Turkey, Mohamud said negotiations are ongoing, but the two no longer seek conflict. On relations between Turkey and Somalia, Mohamud noted a severe famine that struck his country in 2010 to 2011, resulting in a significant loss of life and contributing to security challenges. Despite the difficulties, he noted that then Prime Minister and current President Recep Tayyip Erdogan visited Somalia with his family and cabinet, demonstrating to the world that Somalia was accessible and not a place to be abandoned. Mohamud underlined that Somalia's main issue is no longer famine, but terrorism, and highlighted Turkey's support, providing training, technology, and advisory assistance to security forces. Turkey has very strong relations with Somalia and Ethiopia, he said, adding that Ankara has supported both during different and difficult times. Mohamud underlined that the Palestinian issue is a moral and religious responsibility, and Somalia will never compromise on the matter. He also underscored the importance of achieving a peaceful two-state solution. Addressing claims about a supposed plan to resettle Palestinians in Somaliland, which unilaterally declared independence from Somalia in 1991, he said the region is part of Somalia. Somaliland is part of Somalia, and no one has ever approached Somalia for receiving Palestinian people as replacement of their land. We don't see it as a solution. It's not whether someone recognize or not recognize it, but the idea of removing Palestine from their own land and putting them into other people's land. I don't see that that's a solution at all. If it is a solution, then it would have been discussed some way or the other. But that's not. Palestinians belong to that land, and they have been living on that land for millennia, he said.